Hey everybody, it's Joey Valley TCG. Hope everyone is having a good day, a good week. I am back with another video. Uh, I wanted to get this video out a little bit earlier, but if you watch my earlier vid, I was, saying that I'm probably gonna be on vacation. I'm, in another country. Well, flights back apparently could be canceled very close to your departure time. And then, there was a winter storm in my city, so the airport was entirely closed, and I ended up just getting back into town. So, yeah, falling back to the computer, and the very first thing I wanted to do was to make a video for you guys because so many things have been happening in the just, I guess, a week since I've talked about One Piece that I want to get to it right away. And I want to mostly focus this video on Premium Booster '01 because things have been going absolutely crazy. Please like, comment, and subscribe before I get to that. So appreciate everyone's support. All right, first and foremost, PRB01. We all knew that a lot of the cards in here were very, very collectible. I've talked about the Gold Dawns before, and just to take a look, um, I think Gold Dawns across the board have almost universally spiked. And I mean, I think the cheapest one I saw was close to $100. This is not loading. I don't know what's happening here. There we go. All right, so the Zoro card, the lowest one's over $300, but that's been kind of the case for a while. And then let's see if there's any flow through here. Yeah, so definitely some sales. I don't know why this zoom filter keeps, screwing up the prices here, but there were sales within the last few days. But not just largely this card. I mean, all of the Dawns have really skyrocketed in price. Again, there's 2 of these per every case, so 1 in 5 booster boxes. And really just almost all of them. I mean, let's just take a look at some of the cheap ones. Yeah, this one's $90. It was flashing for $50 even down here. This Odin Gold Dawn is up to over $100 for the lowest one. So just massive buyouts across this one, across the set. And it's really just because that we thought there was going to be a reprint, and there just has not been. And there still could be a reprint. I personally think that there's going to be a reprint for this. I think right now, if we think of some of the cards some of the sets are released, right? We have OP10 here in the US, we have OP11 in Japan, we have EBO2 coming in Japan as well, and also here in the US very soon as well. So, like across the board, Bandai has a lot to print, and last time around with EBO1 being released around this time, last year, I should say, plus OP05 and some of the other, they also had some printing capacity restrictions. We just didn't really see very much in prints. And as a result, things all kind of went up in price. And then when then Bandai got caught up in the middle of the year, we did see prices normalize across all sets. I do think that PRB01 deserves a reprint. It will get a reprint. And I think that's actually why booster box prices at 188, it's just not that much, right? Like, I mean, yeah, I understand that, MSRP is like 115, 120 or something like that for this specialty set, but just broadly, this is a super, super collectible booster box, and the fact that it's not even $200 a box yet without a reprint does imply that people are kind of waiting for that next wave before they go and buy some of this product, right? So that's my sense here. I mean, we know that OP01, for example, have started to move upwards now that people have realized that there might not be a reprint coming for OP01 anymore. right? Anyways, on to some of the other things in the set that have moved up a lot. I'm just going to talk about the mangas because I think they really, really determine the value of the set. And some of the buyouts that have happened in the set have been absolutely crazy. The Nami, this is stuck on. This is stuck on damage for some reason. Yeah, so Nami, it's $850 for the lowest copy. I think when we last looked at this was closer to 400 bucks. And in fact, yeah, a couple weeks ago, around $400, not even $500, $500. And we've just seen this crazy, crazy amount of buyout flow through. I mean, there hasn't been any sold at $850, right? But there has been a ton sold at these other prices of 600, 650. So already pretty significant move up. And I think once people started seeing that happen, they just, cash cow games. They probably just like took whatever their price was at 650 or whatever and just moved it closer to this higher amount. That tends to happen in this game, or it tends to happen really across many TCGs. So a lot of the manga arts that are part of the God Pack, they're all moving up. The Luffy's moving up. This was, yeah, like $125. The Ace currently $400. It was low. It was below $400. This one's moved the least. Although if someone buys this copy out, I mean, we're at 500 and potentially 0 copies on the market. But yeah, I mean, tons of flow through at sub $400. Chopper, same thing. This used to be a $300 card, or a little bit over 300 bucks. Yeah, so 350 for the card just a few weeks ago. Now there's one copy available. Zoro, not many copies available either. 460 bucks. Shanks, same thing. I mean, Shanks, seems to be a few more copies left. Yeah, I mean, this is almost tempting for me. 380 for this set. It's not too far off from asking price that it's been historically, but this is also moving up. Law, same thing. I mean, same thing as Shanks. Not as many sales. Yeah, we really haven't seen that many sales. But outside of that, I mean, it's pretty. There's still, I think it's probably going to the buyouts are going to start moving down the spectrum. So here's another one, Sabo. Interestingly enough, this hasn't moved really at all. This one's very similar to the from the OP04 version. I think it's around $400, so pricing not too far off. And then Kid, Eustace Captain Kid, currently around 265. Again, not too far off from where it used to be. Soga King moving up a little bit. Used to be a couple $100, right? This is a $200 manga. This was the cheapest manga that you could get. It had, sub $200. Now $300. So definitely moving up as well. And then now, after all the mangas that are moving up, there's also other cards that have moved up, right? So this, for example, I find very, very interesting. This is the one-legged soldiers. This is just the full art version, right? So there's really two versions of cards of this card in PRB01. There's the alternate art, like a pure alternate art. There's 2 of those per booster box, right? So you have a chance of getting this one-legged soldier, and then there's 2 full arts in every booster box as well, where you also have a chance of getting this one-legged soldier. So just the full art version, which is the less in demand version, it's $36 for this card. This is a playable card in Usopp. But I guess the other one, the alternate art version, if I could find this, it's like 80 bucks. So like 70, $80. Here it is, right? So yeah. So closer to $80. But yeah, this has been moving up. The reason why these two have moved up a lot is just because there really aren't other alternate art versions of this particular card. there's alternate art versions of some of the other ones, like Category, right? Like there's always alternate art versions of him, or um, from the original set. I believe there's a Pilaf alt, maybe not. So maybe that's why Pilaf is 50 something dollars. But you know, there Otama, this has been there's a couple of versions of her. She was prizing as well in tournaments, as well as regional tournaments, as well as a national level tournament. So like there's a lot of ultimate alternate art versions for Otama, but there just really wasn't that same option for the one like soldier. So this is moving up, of course, in addition to being playable. So I think this is just a really interesting kind of overview of what's been happening in PRB01. I mean, if you just kind of look across the board, I mean, Sindri, right? Victoria Sindri, also playable. I mean, 35, 25, $35. We're okay. As I click into it, the lowest copy is $47 for this card. This is just the full art, right? So we don't have this alternate art version of her. This is just the full art where you see the extended borders. It's a beautiful card nevertheless, but still pretty crazy to see that type of price movement. I mean, Bello Betty, I mean, there's definitely an alternate art version of her. She's usable in Bello Betty, right? So definitely playable as well. Kind of a glass cannon type of deck, which is kind of fun and enjoyable to play as. But yeah, $27. This used to be a sub $10 card on release. So really significant movement almost across the board. I mean, at these prices, it makes me want to open a booster box. To be quite honest with you, right? If I'm able to pull full arts at $25, $30 potentially, and alternate arts, $30 on the lower end, but potentially you could get a alternate art that's 170 bucks, which is this one, which I've pulled previously, the Yamato alt art. Didn't realize it was going to go up to $170. And with, there's actually a sale made at this price. So a lot of cards at this price. I don't think this is going to keep at this price just because of the elevator, the aggressive elevator from about $120 all the way up to $170 does imply that people, once they see this, they'll start listing more cards. And, at this price, it might not move. So that price, average price will start edging downwards, maybe closer to 130, 140 bucks. But I mean, if you're able to pull this card, that's the price of a booster box pretty much, right? So pretty incredible. And then of course you always have the chance of the alternate art Sanji, any of the gold dons, of which many of them pay for a booster box already. So I'm just saying that there's so much value in the PRB01 set that, I think it is time, if you have a booster box lying around and you've been thinking about whether you should open or not, or whether to even sell the box. I mean, I think both of those are kind of reasonable moves in this current ecosystem. I just it's one of those things where really, to me, there's no reason why Bandai will not reprint the set. They've done it before. I think now that they're still working their way through some of the earlier sets like O2, O3, O4 at card festivals. I think once they're done with that earlier wave and new players are coming into the hobby and they're probably going to give the feedback like, hey, what's going on, right? Like, why can't I buy PRB01 for a lower price? I want to, collect some of these gold dons because these are so unique and so pretty. I think Bana will tend to listen to that and cater to that player base. And I think, they're, if they're not already getting that feedback, they should be getting that feedback soon because gold dons, dons are supposed to be you're supposed to have 10 in your deck, right? And a lot of people like to have the exact same Dawn in their deck. And at these prices, I mean, you can't even find 10, right? Like, much less buy 10. Even if you want to throw $3,000, you can't even buy this out enough, right? To be able to create a Dawn deck here. So it just makes me think that there's a lot of likelihood, a lot higher likelihood that they're going to reprint this set. Just my view, could be wrong. They have not reprinted EB01, and there was a thought that that would happen potentially. But I guess I would say that between these two sets, PRB01 versus EB01, um, I don't. There's less incentive, I think, for Bandai to reprint a very, very small set like EB01 when they have maybe more incentive to reprint collectible cards and kind of cater to the newer player base. So, anyways, that's just my thoughts. Hope you guys are having a good week. Hope you guys had a great long weekend. Um, Let me know what you guys think, right? Do you guys think that they are going to reprint PRB01? Um, are there cards in here that you're looking to collect? So yeah, well, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys are having good day, and yeah, I will talk to you guys next time.